Hello and welcome to Know Thy Enemy. In this modern video series we discover the enemies. We get to know them in the flesh. We get to pilot those boogeymans of the format, and we get to learn its weaknesses and like what makes them tick. Hopefully we also get to know their strengths, and that should hopefully make us a little bit more able to beat them. Today we're going to be playing some Murktide Regents. This is a deck that has been putting up very consistent results since MH2 first dropped. And we're going to be playing it for the first time here on this channel. The key to this deck is just raw efficiency. Ragavan, Nimble Piffer, DRC, Murktide Regent, these are our threats. This is how we're going to win the game. And then everything else is just extremely efficient removal in Unholy Heat and Lightning Bolt, extremely efficient counter magic in Counter Spell and Force of Negation and Archimedes Charm, extremely effective card advantage in Expressive Iteration. And then the rest is just card velocity and ways to fuel our 2-mana 8/8s. So this is what we're going to be playing. The deck is fairly straightforward in what it does, but that doesn't make it any less powerful. So we're going to be trying things out. The only thing to note is that, which is something that I noticed, that the list that I copied from, I think it was from a challenge debate or something like that, but it was playing 3 snow-covered islands, which I thought it was extremely cute, because if you get paired against an Ice Fang Quaddle deck and you steal their their Ice Fang with the Monke, you can actually have it be Death Touchy, which I thought was hilarious. Anyway, this sideboard includes Jace the Mind Sculptor as a different angle of attack for the deck, which is, you know, not creature based. So like your opponent's bringing in removal for your like Monkey and DRCs, and you just drop a Jace and you kind of hope that it gets you there. And the rest is just efficient interaction in Mystical Dispute, Flusterstorm, Alpine Moon against Tron, Relic of Progenitors against Graveyard strategies, Torpor Orb against ETB Elementals and decks like that, and Engineered Explosives against the Hammers and the Rhinos of the world. The last one is Brazen Borrower, just a flexible card and an effective beater as well. This is the decklist that we're going to be playing through a league today, so if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you for round number 1. First match of the league, and we get paired against the Lurrus deck, but our hand is fantastic, so we'll keep it. So we're just going to go turn 1 Monkey, and then turn 2 we can go DRC into Heat into Connect with Monkey. Like, this is just gross. This is just a gross opening hand. Honestly, I think I might get the Sacred Lair. That's a great deal for Crater Hoof and the Mold Drifter. That is right. Yeah. The problem if you get the Secret Lair for the Merle Drifter is that Merle Drifter is a 3 or 4 copy of card, so you're gonna have to get, you know, a bunch more. Opponent moves to 5, and we're gonna punish their mulligan with the best, probably the single best turn 1 play in the modern format, right? Okay. Remember when I was a blue-black Reanimator gamer? Remember those days? Imagine we're gonna get bolted here. So if they play anything, we kill it. If they don't... Take the iteration here. Is it really better than turn 1 to rack? I would say so, yeah. Alright, remember how I said that our hand was great? Well, it's not good anymore. It is not a good hand anymore. Opponent's down to 2 though. Down to 3, I guess 3 cards now with their draw step. And we do have some bangers in hand. We do have some bangers. It would be awesome to draw an Enabler. Like, they know that whatever they play is gonna get killed. They don't know about the bolt, so I'm just gonna kill this with the heat. Although Heat answers Croxa, so maybe that's an interesting reason into to the other thing. I don't think we want Bubble. We do want Monke. Not putting Lurrus in hand? Yeah, I was gonna say. Yep. So they got Lurrus in hand. Monkey. Monkey. Whew, yes, please. Yes, please. This card is fucked up, man. This card is just fucked up. Holy shit. I just got in there for 2. I got extra mana, and then I cast my opponent's Fantastic Threat. Every time I play with the monkey, every time I play with this stupid monkey, I'm just like, I'm just so blown away. Like I'm just so blown away at how absurd this card is. How did this card make it? That's pretty gross, actually. But like every time I play with this card, it's just like, how did this make it out the door? How did this card make it out the door? How did this card make it out the door in the Wizards headquarters? Don't mind if I do. Oh, look, you got stuff going on over there. Well, now you don't. You got stuff going on over there. Oh, well, sorry. Croxai is pretty good, however. Croxai is pretty good here. I guess we're gonna have to figure out a way to counter it. Because we can't build up to Unholy Heat range with what we have here. There will be a sexy as that time you turn one monkey to turn to reef to the ramp. Yeah, exactly. Remember that? That was disgusting. That was so disgusting. I think I'm discarding the lightning bolt. It's sort of awkward because we know my opponent has a bolt, so I don't want to play this monkey into their lightning bolt. So I'm just going to pass the turn here, holding up Archmage's Charm. If they don't do anything, I get to draw 2, but if they do, then I just charm them. That Kaya's Guile did some work. So I just draw 2 here. We probably have to. Okay. That's a Murktide. Let's see what they draw. They're drawing Sacred Foundry. So if we dash, my opponent gets to exile. So they're gonna get to they're gonna get to cast Croxa twice. Ugh, that's brutal. I could play Murktide here. Murktide is a 5/5, which is a 2-turn clock. I can also boldface opponent down to 7. We know they don't have an answer to Murktide. Opponent down to 7, we get a 6/6 Murktide. Can play 4. 1, 2, 3, make it 5/5. Well, I didn't keep Bold because Unholy Heat can potentially kill the Croxa. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Bold them. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, next turn we're nowhere close to. So we're not gonna be able to cast the second Murktide, so I'm just gonna cast this first one. So here's a 6/6. Easy game. The easiest of games. Killing a point also kills Croxa. That sounds accurate. All right, so we win this one. Six, yeah. Bolt, yeah. Let's have not C. That's just too nice of a guy, whereas my natural inclination is to face them in their stupid face. No, it's fine. With stabbing. So much stabbing. Is it me or is Moto a little bit laggy today? It kind of feels pretty laggy to me. So I think we do that split. Relics in, forces out. I don't think I want too many engineered explosives. The first copy is probably fine. Re-ask, sorry about that. Learning Titan happens to me. That with opening hand of no amulet but Saga is much time in turn 4. Is it too late to keep the opening hand enabling such late Titan? No, it's fine. It's fine. But it depends on the matchup and it depends on whether you're on the play or on the draw. But Saga pops off on turn 3, which enables a lot of turn 3 Titans. I think this is what I want. Like, Monke's not great in a matchup like this, but like we just saw how it's just randomly nuts. Sure. Probably gonna take the Monke, I assume. Monke off the top. So I'm probably keeping most things right here. If there's a threat on top of my deck, I'm gonna keep it. If there's, what's this? Monke? Well, that's dead. If there's a land, I'm also excited about keeping it. Interesting that this was their play on turn 2. Drawing a Mire. Ooh. Dash. I don't think there's anything that I'm too afraid on in this turn, right? So holding up counterspell is not really necessary there. Opponent did not go for Lurrus. So I'm probably just gonna chill here. And then next turn we get to drop Murktide with counter backup. Seems strong. Seems moderately strong. Can I play a reinversion of the Nihilance deck just so I can add the lovely cards? You can do whatever the hell you want, Jace Lux. I encourage you to do whatever the hell you want. I don't think the Yorion works particularly well with the Nihilance strategy, but if I find a removal spell, I don't have to counter this. Okay. So, Scar myself. Serum Visions. It's pretty nice. We can throw the land to the bottom. We can put the bolt on top. And I think I'm just gonna play the Monke here. Holding up Counterspell or Unholy Heat. We have a bolt on top. So you're playing the list I played at the challenge last weekend. Yeah, it's yours, Spencer, yeah. But if you change the sins, dispute for Blood Moon in the sideboard and trying out swapping a heat for a borrower in the main. Alright, good to know. Thanks for the tips. But yeah, I just grabbed the list that I like the most. I kinda like the forces in the main deck in this style of deck. Because the chances of going, you know, turn 1 Monke, turn 2 you hold up force is like it's an extremely powerful sequence. $600 too much to spend on game expansions. I've already got all the other expansions in the base game and I spent a lot on it, so I'm invested, right? Yes, you should spend more money. That's definitely worth the counter spell. Let's see what we get off the Monke. Path to Exile. Probably not going to cast that one. I am interested in casting a Murktide Regent though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's a lethal threat. Here go. I like how Kaya's Guile, sack a creature, make it 1/1. I'll sack that creature. If they exile my graveyard, they actually give me lethal, which is very funny. Heat that. Swing 8. Bolt you. Easy 2-0 victory. See you next round. Alright, round 2. Bunch of cantrips. I guess only one cantrip, but like seems worth keeping a hand like this, right? I think I'm supposed to keep a hand like this. And I'm definitely shocking on turn 1, I think. Game is actually fantastic. The pieces are weighted poker chips. The cards are plastic and water safe. That's cool. What are your thoughts on the classic Blur Murktide base shirt versus Aspirating Spikes Jeskai? So Exude, I don't have enough experience with the Jeskai version, but like it's only splashing for I think we need a threat, so I'm just gonna bottom both of this. It's only splashing for Prismatic Ending, I think. So, like, I guess it's fine, but I don't know. The blue-red version is just so clean and so streamlined. That's something that I like a lot about it. Amulet is unplayable. Don't play Amulet. Yeah, Big JC should tell you. Yeah, I remember I told you, JC. I told you that I talked about your deck list in the in the Titan Talk podcast, and yeah, sorry about that. Sorry that I said that you submitted the wrong deck list, but. So this hand is not the best against Reanimator. Also, I just realized I should have played Fire Islet there, because the most likely thing that's gonna happen is I'm just gonna cycle it. And then I can untap next turn and the Spiral of Canal enters untapped anyway. So I just wasted a couple of mana, I think. This deck is running so smoothly, feels weird where all the Magdas. Can DM you the Cyber Guy that's will practically have to run in a few minutes. Yeah, I mean you can DM me, or you can well, I'm gonna bolt this now. You can just link it in chat if you want to. I think we're playing Fire Islet this turn. Yeah, there we go. Sweet, awesome. Thank you, Pincer. So for everybody who wanted to, I'm gonna be linking this this sideboard guide in the YouTube video description. So that's pretty nice. That is not pretty nice. We've been dodging grief, which is a good thing so far, but whenever my opponent starts drawing some griffs, we're gonna be pretty sad, I think. Also, I can't really play a Murktide either, because like the likelihood that my opponent has Solitude is pretty high. Something? Monke would be sick. Monke would be very good. How about a dead card? Maybe not so good. I'm gonna play this Stabbed, because I guess we have Mishra's Bubble, so we want to hold on to the Polluted Delta for now. Also, we can just hold on to this for Liliana purposes. Yeah. That sucks. The good thing is that probably my opponent has a bunch of terrible cards in hand, right? It's kind of like the price of playing their strategy that they're playing. So they probably have like Ephemerates and shit that don't do anything. So they have actual dead cards in their hand. This is a very clean 2-for-1 for them, though. So now they're going to Ephemerate. And then we're in Holy Heat in response. So now this is a 3-4-2. Just not the end of the world, but like I'd like to draw. Sure. I'd love to draw like a expressive iteration, right? Like that's the kind of draw that we need right here. They just have the persist combo. Yep. It's pretty bad. That is quite bad for us. They went for rights instead? Interesting. Five, yeah. Yeah. Where are my expressive iterations? That's what I would like to know. Hey, how you doing, Arkan? It's going well. It's going well. Hope you're doing well as you're doing well too. You're doing well as well. So many wells. Grief. So, I mean, I'm gonna heat this because I want to get the value. My opponent's gonna ephemerate anyway, but it's the same thing, right? Like the outcome is exactly the same. Like my opponent's just gonna get to dig my monkey. So we actually traded with a card from my opponent. Do I fetch? I don't think I fetch because I could draw a bubble. Ooh, that's actually that's not good, right? I mean, they just trades with the grief. Seems kind of fine to trade with the grief though. Maybe I should be aggressively bidding it and looking for the other thing. Well, actually, oh, this is great. Yeah, this is perfect. So they just wasted a bunch of ephemerates. Get in there. Those are all flex spots. Yeah, I just haven't been playing some Legacy lately. Like the last time I played Maverick, and I just got tired of losing to monkeys. So I kind of haven't. Oh come on! Oh no! Yeah, well, now we lose. So they're gonna get back the Archon with the burial rites. We drew blanks for a really long time there. That's fine. So Torpor Orb looks nice. Fluster. Yeah, Orb is legit against this kind of strategy. Murktide's fine. I think Monkey is okay. This is what I'm kind of interested in. No, I don't think Borrower is where it's at. Like if I'm bouncing the Archon, that means that they got like a trigger with the Archon and everything. Like that's just not very good for me. So all right, let's see. Yeah, so you like Jaces, you dislike Bolts. Yeah, Bolts is the card that I was about to cut right now. And I guess we're cutting one Mistress Bubble. This doesn't look bad at all, actually. This doesn't look bad at all. I was considering maybe Fluster, but they have a lot of creatures, so like Fluster just doesn't really do that well against Grief. This hand is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic hand. So I think I'm fetching on one. I'm going for the Serum Visions. Murktide is a fine draw. I do like the land, and I think I do like Iteration as well. So let's order them like so. Te entendí que es lo que importa. Now, real question. Do I just Torpor Orb here? I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. So this means that my Murktide is gonna be just a 3/3. Like it's gonna be able to grow later, but like the Murktide itself is gonna be just a 3/3. which is very funny. Oh, they're just gonna ending this? Oh, Chalice. Ha! Well, I was not expecting that, I tell you. I'm still gonna cast this Thought Scour, probably. What do you think of the Jeskai version splashing white for main deck prismatic endings? I'm not sure that it's better than this, honestly. This one is cleaner, it's more streamlined, and it just has better mana, and I like better mana. Particularly, the less lands that you want to play, and this deck is playing 18, the less lands that you want to play, the more that you want to be playing the least possible amount of colors, right? Do we just counter this? If I counter this, I can play Murktide next turn, which I think I do want to, so now we Scour, gets countered by Chalice, that's fine, whatever. Now we Iteration, looking for a land, perfect. So we get Bubble in hand, bottom, top, play this, fetch. Because I'm fetching regardless, right? So it doesn't really matter what I do here. And blue, blue. I guess I can get rid of the lands. Scour. Oh, wait. This doesn't work the way that I thought it did. Well, that's sick. And that's... Now I feel like an idiot. I thought that this just came into play as a 3-3. Well, I fucked up that interaction. I should have an 8-8 here then. I guess it's a 7-7, not an 8-8. Yeah, so now I'm looking for counterspell. DRC, it's a no-no, so this is hand, this is bottom, this is out here. Play that. Serve. I don't think I want to deploy the iteration there. The only problem now is if my opponent does have the combo, we're kind of screwed. But they had the chance to resolve a Murktide there, and they didn't. So I'm assuming that they don't have a way to put a fatty into play. And I'm not gonna cycle here because I'm gonna Jace Brainstorm, and I want to be able to hold up counterspell mana, which we did not find. That's fine. I could iteration here. Maybe that's what I should have done. Maybe I should have iteration there. Demonic Tutor, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everybody from the Demonic Tutor stream. Today is Know Thy Enemy in my channel, so we're learning about Blue-Red Murktide. And this deck is pretty messed up, let me tell you. How was your stream, man? Did I see anything that I would want to change? The chalices? The chalices are mildly problematic. Maybe the chalices make me want one Brazen Borrower. I think I'd rather have Borrower than Explosives. 2 for 1, lost to burn and infect. Wait, how does Yawgmoth... How do you lose with Yawg to infect? Don't they have like mono X ones? Doesn't Yogg just completely trash Infect? At least that's what I would imagine. What do I want to cut? I kind of want to cut it 1-drop. Just cut a heat. That's a lot of lands. That is a lot of lands. I think this is what we do. Leyline of the Void. My army of 1/1s will get you, opponent. You'll see. You'll see. We're probably not gonna get him. Dude, keeping 7 with Leyline is just gross. Every time my opponent keeps a 7-card hand with a Leyline, they just have to be cheating. There's no other explanation. I think this is fine. They take our force, but like we would be 2 for 1 ourselves. Next turn we can hard cast the force, I guess. Graveyard deck playing Leyland or a Hypocrite? Yeah, exactly. Wanya. Yes. Get in there. Been that. Would love to see some business here. Monke is probably your best draw. They're playing Decays or something? Grisly Salvage. Wow. Grisly Salvage, dude. Grisly Salvage, man. Haven't seen this one in a minute. They get the basic. I mean, I guess they can Imperial Rights to Grieve. If they had been an Archon there, we would be in serious trouble. All right, you got a 3-2. Monke. So I'm gonna hold up force. We probably have to scour them, which really sucks. This is why I'm sort of iffy on Thought Scour. Whoops. In a strategy like this, I wonder if you would want to have access to Consider. Like, it makes sense, but at the same time, like, you want to be setting up the top of your deck, right? You want to be setting up the top of your deck, and like Thought Scour just doesn't let you, which is super awkward. Been that. We're looking for Monke. Hey. Hey. Yeah, these are good. These are good. I like these. So let's do Borrower on top, Monkey on top. Then we're gonna pass the turn. Next turn we're gonna draw Monkey. Yeah, I know that this makes your nut draws better, but it makes your average draws a lot worse, right? That's the trade-off that you're incurring into. So we want to draw that guy. Yikes. So hand, bottom, bubble. Yeah, I like that actually. Do I kill this or do I think I just monkey? Oh no, Shambling Vent? Shambling Vent? What? I think I'm cracking the bubble now so I can draw Temple Garden. So I can potentially draw a land here, which would be ideal. Another Unholy Heat. Heat there. They could have Ephemerate, technically. Ugh, do I want a minus on that? Oh, I think I want to bin that. Let's bin it. They can 2-for-1 themselves here to play a Solitude, but then we can just heat it. And here we just pass. Now on their, if they do nothing on their end step, I'm gonna bounce their leyline. And then if they can spend their turn recasting it, that's fine. Times a scar my cyber card into the graveyard. A couple of Murktides have been so hurtful. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, right? It's like everything. Petty theft. They have Veil? They have Veil of Summer and Chalice of the Void? They have Veil and Chalice, dude? Come on, opponent. Excuse me, they have double Veil in their Chalice of the Void deck. And I'm gonna top that thing. Dude, can you believe that? They're playing Chalice. That's so gross. Well, hello there. Black, green, 1. Plus. Oh man, I didn't mill an insect. Dude, the double veil in the Chalice deck is... it hurts, you know? It really hurts. Okay. Let's see what they get. I mean, I guess whatever they get doesn't really hurt us. Like, whatever they get, we just bounce. We got double veiled and we're still ahead. With a leyline in play. That's kind of the problem with this Reanimator, and the way that some people are building their Reanimator decks is just like, they don't really make sense. Like, half of my opponent's cards just suck. I mean, if they have Veil of Summer number 3, I'm in a lot of trouble here. Psychic creature. Kill that, please. Swing. Hase. So we're gonna put that on top and that on top. Play this, say go. 2 creatures, 2 walkers. They can kill the Grist here with the Shambling Vent, which is... it's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit good for them. So they persist their guy. We're gonna bounce it with Jace. Chalice for 0. It's a weird choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know there's a land on top, so we can just mill it. We don't have Bolt, so we can't really kill this Shambling Vent, which is kind of awkward. So let's just pass the turn. Shambling Vent holding the team. Shambling Vent holding the team. It's rough. It's rough out there. Shout out to Torpor, by the way. Shout out to Torpor. Boom, baby! Boom! Let's go. Nice Leyland. See you next round. 1 lander, but this is the life we chose, right? I mean, there's no way in hell that I'm not doing this, so I'm just gonna go Monke and not play, because next turn I get to DRC plus Bubble, which gives me a Freeze Cry, Surveil, whatever. Zwing. I think I go for broke here. We double DRC. Bennett. I'm not gonna grade this. Put it on top. So I guess I chill on this. And then we look for counterspell next turn. So it's mono green, which is probably worse for us. I did not see that one coming. I did not see the main deck surgical extraction coming. So that happened. Why don't I play Mishra's Swallow for the draw? Because I knew that I was drawing a land, and my goal is to play it next turn so I can get the value from the Surveil, and I can dig towards a counterspell. So I'm getting the most value from my card. I think this is going to be... God damn it. Well, I guess that's fine. So now we get to expressive iteration. It's not a land. Is that a land? It is a land. So... we can play another DRC here. I think I just want to get another land. Being that, top that, say go. What hand did my opponent keep? So they're probably going to get Walking Ballista here, I imagine. Nah, I'm gonna be in that graveyard. Graveyard. Force is really nice. Play land. So I guess I have to kill the Karn here. I guess I could have. Oh, it's actually. Well, that's really bad for us. I was gonna say it's better for us to just heat the Karn instead. All this dust. They can play the bridge now, but I can attack anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Unless they have another 1-drop, which they don't. Looks lethal to me. Yep. All right, mono green Tron. Out 4 heat and 1 EE. And in Jace, 2 Alpine Moon, 1 Bracing Borrower. I guess that I'm gonna regain second Jace because we're not playing Blood Moon. So if I start playing the deck, Friday we do streams playing relevant decks in the format for entertainment. Yeah, there's one that the person that I copied this deck list from, but they said that they would play a Blood Moon over. This hand seems fine to me, right? This time around we don't have DRC, so I'm just gonna play the Babylon one. I guess that we actually do get some value here, which is very nice. Murktide Regent, I don't think we want that. Would love to see some counter magic of sorts. Alpine Moon would also be delightful. Can we get a Summer from your Cephali tribal deck? Sounds about right. Alright, so Monke, you're gonna have to deliver the goods here, okay? I have faith in you. I have faith in you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attack with Monke. Okay, so what's better? Is it better to look at 3 cards, trying to find specifically Alpine Moon? Or is it better to look at just 1 card, but we get to play a Murktide, and we get, like, if we can also find Counterspell? That seems like the better line, right? Just turboing out the Murktide. We would have found the Counterspell. But they just put so much pressure on them. I guess they can just Karn minus and get rid of it, so maybe it's not that good. Oh, we can't dash Monke? Terrible. Terrible. Is this a Karn? It is a Karn. Sadness. Complete and total sadness. Now we have to play the Karn game. I guess I can find a Bolt. Oh man, don't have enough mana to cast that one. Deserve for Izzet Murktide. That's fine. I'm not too worried. If we lose this game, I'm not that worried, if I'm being honest. Please minus on my monkey. 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 I guess I do have a couple of cards that I would just scoop to here. O-Stone. I'm probably beating anything here, particularly that. Scour would be great. Ooh, that's pretty good too. So, hand, play land, dash. I'm attacking them here because that allows me to hold up counter spell. I wonder if they're just gonna minus on the DRC. I hate playing the Karn game. I just hate it so much. They force a Vigor. Alright. Between the main deck Surgical and the Force of Vigor, your fucking treasures, my opponent is out there with the wild plays, let me tell you. I mean, they did get me. They did get me. Sure. Good old Sylvan Scrying. I'm gonna iteration. Looking for a land. If we find a land, we can hold up counter spell. Ooh, it's pretty good. So, do we want to play that? If we play this, we force the Karn minus. I guess that's fine. So hand bottom, play this. Rabinito, thank you for the follow. I think so. Alpine Moon. Okay, Namor's is mine. Sure, they get to kill this, but that's like a full Karn activation, and then they go to 7. No, it doesn't. We still are nowhere close to killing that thing, but at least we get to like slow it down a little bit. So this is effectively a lightning bolt. Oh, come on. Again? That's pretty funny. Okay. I think I'm gonna be in the Archmage's Charm. I'm just never gonna get to cast that thing. Okay. It's not great. Really wish I had some unholy hits right about now. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dude, if we get to attack and we get to find the fucking Karn off the top, that would be incredible. I guess that we can't cast it, never mind. Because we would need to dash the Monke. Bolt is not terrible. Something good. All right. I'll take that. So I probably can't beat a top deck here. Bolt off the top one time. Bolt off the top one time. Can we? Chat? Give me your energy, chat. Give me your energy. Opponent does not like fun, huh? Opponent does not like fun. When a game, yeah, they were a cast Karn with Ragavan and used the plus under bridge, then bolted and swung. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, this card is really stupid. This card is very, very stupid. Okay, so I don't think we want to make any changes. Maybe the one random hit is better than the second Jace. It's not like I want the Jace anyway. No lander, probably no bueno. Okay. I'm gonna keep this and I'm gonna send the second Murktide. Put him most to 5. His hand seems legit. So we're gonna go turn 1, Sparble of Canal. DRC turn 2. I think we're just probably gonna drop this iteration. And if we find a bubble, that would be fantastic. And if we don't, then that's still fine. But I think that our mana is gonna be a little bit... It's gonna be a little bit challenging. Oh, never mind. Karn. So let's draw the monkey. A little bit of a mana inefficient turn there, but no second land. It probably means that that's game. I think we just go full on beat down. I mean, I can play that. I'm just gonna make it 5/5. It has to be better. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now this is a 2-turn clock. So that was our top deck, and they didn't answer my threats last turn, so they shouldn't be able to answer them this turn either. Put that on top, I think. Well, that sucks. No land. Yikes. The natty Tron? Not quite. Got him. 3-0. 3 of a kind. I ain't no coward. I ain't no coward. I mean, the likelihood of this monkey dying are pretty high, right? So having 3 copies is not really the end of the world. Bagels. Please play a Core Spirit Dancer. That guy's fine because we still trade with this. That is not fine because we can't attack through that. Bin that. Gonna go face with this to set up the top of our deck. This seems like could be a pretty bad matchup, actually. This seems like it could be a pretty bad matchup. Come on, man. Nothing that I can play, literally nothing. I mean, as long as we can dodge a lifelink card, maybe we can raise this. We cannot raise the armor, though. Yeah, we cannot raise Coronet. Pretty unfortunate. This card's pretty good, though. This also looks fine. Cut all the hits. Maybe a Jace. Maybe they will bring in stuff like Rest in Peace. Would imagine they do. Do they sideboard into Lurrus? Yeah, they do sideboard into Lurrus. Can't keep this hand. One lander, but not a red source. I'm gonna keep this one. Gonna send one of these lightning bolts. Move to 4. We can definitely lose to a move to 4, by the way. I think dispute on the play is better than chase. Don't think I agree. I think dispute is unplayable. It's playing around engineered explosives. It's pretty smart. Things are not looking great here, folks. Things are not looking very good. That's kind of nice. If they just play Lurrus, I'm gonna bolt it. I'm probably gonna be in anything but a cantrip. Shit. Yeah, that one I have to keep. And then I look for a land. And it's important that that exiles because that means that they can't redeploy it. Brutal. I guess hand, bottom. Play that. Pass the turn. Lurrus doesn't really do anything here, so there's no need to kill it just yet. So maybe I can counter something. Spider Umbra. I think that one's fine. It's the first strike ones, the ones that are problematic. Now if we find an artifact or a creature, we get to blow them out. This is so good for us. Pretty greedy attack if I'm being honest. Pretty greedy attack. So we can't really crack this. I guess I'm still gonna play it for 1. I guess I can play it for 0 and hold up counter spell. Just so I can oof. Well, that's one that I'm not gonna bin. So attack first. Murktide. Being the entire graveyard. I think this looks pretty good for us. Path to Exile. Seems good enough to counterspell. Particularly because we know that the expressive iteration is on top. We have no odds to Stony Silence, oddly enough. Just on the stack. I'm still not going to cut my engineered explosives. Maybe Bogles is the secret tech, you know? Gonna keep this hand. This hand is just fantastic, right? Just absolutely amazing. We have a way to speed out the Murktide. We have explosives. Now we also have a counterspell. We have an answer to an engineer, an answer to a fucking Stony Silence. Ethereal armor. ×2. So I think we're gonna go. Hey, how you doing, Scott? I think I'm gonna pass the turn here, and we're gonna see what they do. So if I resolve this, I get everything with these engineered explosives. So this seems fine. Like we go down to 5. And that kind of sucks, but then we just get a 4/1. Whoo! Make that a 5. Make that a 5. Make that 5, baby. Probably gonna put Lurrus in hand here. We have the counterspell ready for that one. Play DRC, play these stabbed, say go. Yep, been that one. Sure. So we can get rid of the top of totem armor whatever whenever we want. Blue, red, iteration. I'm gonna beat that one. So we're just gonna regent here. So regent to hand, play that, fetch for a basic. I guess we want to swing for 3 first. Swing for 3. Murktide. And we want the second Murktide to be bigger, so we actually are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this is gonna kill this very likely, so we can go 1, 2, 3. Just kind of split the difference a little bit. If you 5-0 with this list, will you feel like you're becoming part of the problem? No. I will feel happy and realized. Kill that. That's like too good insurance, right? Just not gonna pass that up. I guess I missed 1 point of damage there. I know, oh no, because I couldn't have attack with this otherwise, so it's fine. PPs and chests, that's what the life is about. 4-0, man. Not bad. This deck is kind of messed up, I'm not gonna lie. This deck is kind of messed up. Alright, here we go, last round. I think I'm gonna keep this hand. No removal means that if my opponent goes turn 1 Monkey, we could be in trouble, but... Got him. No turn 1 Monkey. Did you know blue had Dark Ritual? Yes. It's called Thoughtscar. Dude, like, the art in this card is so gory. Pretty good draw. Unless you think your first Murktide will die, it makes more sense to make your first one small and the second one big, so both are big instead of medium. Okay. That's a good thing to keep in mind. Abzan. The Reanimator deck again? Is this deck popular for some reason? Like, why is this the second time that we're playing against this deck? What is this blowing up? Nothing, right? So this is just a free scry. Oh, there's Chalice. They have Chalice. So I actually want to play these for 0. I'm beating anything. I'm just trying to play a big boy Murktide Regent. We didn't quite make it with... Japanese played it, made it popular recently. Okay, good to know. Well, if they do have the Ephemerate trick, we are in a world of pain. They don't have Ephemerate. One, two, three, four, five, six. How much does MTGO Premium cost? Not as much as you'd think. It's fairly affordable. It's not bad. Counterspell? No counterspell. So this is 6. So bubble means that this is going to swing 3. So 6, 9. Can bring my opponent to 1. So I guess I want to put Murktide in hand so I can force a reanimation spell. Yeah, that seems better. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to hold to put this in my hand. And then cast this thing. Guess we put that on top for next turn. Swing 9. Let's see what they draw. Unmarked Grave. Resolves. Sir Fran trying to make a clip of you saying life's all about PPs and chests for peasants in your welfare contest, but my internet lagged. Oh man, what a waste. What a waste. Alright, so Reanimator again, I guess. So we want that. We want Brazen Borrower. We definitely want Torpor. The Torpor were fantastic when we played against this deck earlier. And I think, did we cut the Lightning Bolts? Or did we cut the Heats? I think we cut one of these. I think we cut the Bolts, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. Let's go with that. Seems like a solid hand here. Not much difference between Modern and Legacy nowadays. There's a little bit of difference. Personally, I like Modern better, but you know, people like Legacy too. Last time I've been venturing into Legacy, let's just say that I have not been able to find my footing. I don't want to shower. That is just a very solid excuse. That's a very solid excuse. From is quite different, even when you have the same cards being played widely. Yep, I think they're quite different. Monke. Monkey. Get in there, monkey. Let's go. Marsh Flats Exile. That's not very good. So I think I'm going to be holding them to force this turn. So I want to put Jace in hand, Serum Vision's bottom, Fiery Islet, and I'm going to play this thing. Oh, wait. Why did I think I could hold up force? I think I just miscounted without noticing. Yep, guess I messed it up. It's kind of fine anyway. Eternal Witness. You go, Chief. You go, Chief. Oh, because I was counting the treasure of the first attack, but I didn't get a treasure on the first attack, obviously. Eternal Witness. That's a card. Can we cast that card? I guess if we play a fetch, we can cast it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the fetch. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna go. I guess I can attack. If I attack, we just trade monkeys. And I still have another monkey, so blue. And I think I want to leave the artifact in the graveyard. I'm just going to cast another monkey here, so I have more mana to work with next turn. Kenji Sumura. Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with that name. I think I want to play Jace and start brainstorming. Ding, ding, fucking ding. Your go. This deck has not looked impressive at all. This deck has not looked impressive at all. I'm just countering there because like it's gonna get got anyway, right? So it seems to beat blue-white. There's technically some avenues to lethal here. So let's go this, then play this, bin the land, bottom, bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can do this, bin that. That's an unfortunate land to find there. So we're just gonna get that exiled. Now we can hardcast Force, or we can bounce whatever they play. How's it going, Grok? Believers. Believers. This one goes out for you, believers. Rejoice. Rejoice in the awesomeness of getting a couple of land drops that you can use to make me do push-ups and stuff like that. Well, this deck has... Dude. This deck is kind of messed up. Like, every single match, this is just a well-oiled machine. The deck is just like, cantrip, cantrip, find my good stuff. All my stuff is ridiculously undercosted. Like, all of these cards are just so undercosted for what they do. Let me take the cloud picture real quick, and then we can keep debriefing a little bit. Like, all of these cards are just so messed up. Like, these are such undercosted cards. Like, they just give you so much for so little. I don't know how I feel about Thought Scour. Like, this felt like the worst card in the deck. And sure, like, I get it, right? Like, you want to have a deck that, like, turbos out the Murktide region. So I understand. I understand why we are playing it over something like Consider. But there were multiple situations where I was in the opposing situation. Like, I was trying to look for a very specific card, and I found myself just, you know, I can't actually get any value from this Thought Scour. Like, I actually have to Thought Scour my opponent. So instead of digging a little bit better, like, instead of digging a little bit deeper towards the card that I'm looking for, thanks to some, like, channeler triggers, I was in a situation where I just have to, you know, like, I have to fix my draw with the channeler trigger, but I'm milling my opponent, so I'm just actually getting no value from the card whatsoever. You don't appreciate Thought Scour until you cut it. That's actually fair. That's a fair thought, actually. That's actually a very fair statement. Like, it's possible that, you know, you just play some Considers instead, which I think would be like the clean replacement. Like, I don't think you can cut Serum Visions, because you need the Serum Visions as your sorceries in order to turn on Delirium, right? So the Serum Visions actually have a very specific purpose for being here. Like, it's not that this is the best cantrip for the deck. It's just like you need them to be sorceries so that you can enable Delirium for your DRCs. But it does feel like, I mean, so I would imagine that this is, I'm not a genius, right? Like, obviously people have realized this, and yet they still choose to play Thought Scour, right? So I still think that you know, I'm not like just having an eureka moment that nobody ever had, and I'm like the only person that's smart enough to figure this out. Like, obviously people are aware of this, but there's a reason why Thought Scour is still here instead of Consider. But I don't know. Like, I would like to kind of give it a shot with Consider and kind of see how that feels. But like, this version felt really, really, really good. Like, it's just so smooth, man. Like, every draw was just like, let's go. Just like constantly pressing the gas. The only time was, I think it was against Tron, where I couldn't find the threat. Like, I kept a hand with a cantrip and I just could not find the threat in time, and we lost the game because of it. I don't remember in which match it was, but like, if it happened only one time. Every other time I just kept a hand with one of the 1-drop threats, and it just like, let's go. You better answer this thing right now or you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. And then your interaction is just so good and so efficient. I've even seen some lists playing a one-off Spell Pierce. So instead of this Archmage's Charm, or like instead of these Forces, some people are having playing Spell Pierces. But honestly, I really like the Forces. It feels like the deck is obviously pretty land light on purpose, you know. So having access to Force of Negation in order to go like turn 1 Monke or turn 2 Murktide Regent, just tap out for the threat and just be holding up the counterspell for their interaction with your threat, seems like really, really powerful in a deck like this that has threats that are so ridiculously snowbally. So I was quite impressed. I was very, very impressed by the deck. It looked very, very good. And I'm actually a little bit surprised. Like, I guess I didn't face any of the bad matchups. Like, I didn't really face the blue-white controls. I didn't really face the matchups that this deck truly struggles against. I think Rhinos, if I remember correctly, when I played Rhinos myself, I thought that Murktide was a little bit of a challenging matchup. So I imagine that's a fine matchup. Maybe Living End is problematic. I'm not really sure. But like, I mean, I guess Bogles, when my opponent went through one Boggle, I tried to, you know, envision how the matchup would go, and I'm like, oh, this may be a problem, and then it's just like, well, I mean, we just win, I guess. I play Pierce over a counterspell since they call this tempo. Pierce achieves it much better. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Like, instead of the 4th counterspell, you just play a Spell Pierce there. That actually makes a lot of sense too. But I think at that point, wouldn't you rather just cut the Archmage's Charm and just play one of Spell Pierce instead of the Archmage's Charm? It just feels like a little bit more. Like, again, if your reason is just like paying attention to tempo, then like the 3 mana card is gonna be the worst card in the deck. In paper, I don't know Force, so for now I have 1 Pierce on the 2nd charm. Yeah, it just makes sense. Like, I'm not saying that Force is like it's stock, because it isn't. Actually, not playing Force, the vast majority of the deck lists that are seeing success are not playing Force. I think Mattia Rizzi is the one that has been having some really, really good runs with the deck, and they are the only ones that I've seen that are playing a couple of Forces in the main deck. And I guess this list by Penseur, who also top 8 a challenge this past week, also was jamming the Forces in the main deck. So I imagine that you know, all I can really say is that I really liked Force of Negation in the deck. I'm kind of surprised that this is not stock, and I really understand why Mattia is actually playing the card. Like, it makes a lot of sense. Archmage's Charm is good in the mirror. You can steal the shit. Yeah, that actually makes sense. And against Rhinos, yeah, all of those things make a lot of sense. I agree that Charm doesn't go well with philosophy of the deck, but it's needed for the meta. That's definitely a very fair argument as well. But I really like this. I guess Hammer is probably the single matchup that it's potentially bad for us that I can think of right now, like off the top of my head from like all of the tier 1 decks. But like maybe blue-white is also bad for us because they have access to a multitude of supreme verdicts, and that's a card that's pretty hard for us to interact with. Chalice is also a pain in the ass for this deck. So I guess there are a couple of decks that are keeping this one in check. But in the matchup that we just played, the deck looked super impressive. Like I was very, very happy with how everything worked out. And it really made me understand why people are liking this deck so much. Like it's just busted. Like it's just all of your cards are so good. Like they're just so good pound for pound. So but yeah, there could be a couple of changes. Again, I feel like the changes in the main deck make a lot of sense. The ones that we just discussed, adding a Spell Pierce, like Spell Pierce seems like a card custom made for this style of deck. Cutting the Archmage Shaman specific context, I do think that this is like a pretty reasonable, like these are probably very reasonable metagame choices kind of slots. So that's pretty cool as well, that you can just make some adaptations here and there. And the sideboard is obviously as well something that you can mess around with and change accordingly for the metagame. I do like what Epenser was saying of just cutting, I think it was cutting a dispute for a Blood Moon, if I'm not mistaken. They said it at the very beginning of the stream, so you can probably go back to that and check that out in the chat. But yeah, overall, the deck looked very impressive. I liked it a lot, and it's cool. It's cool. Like I feel like there's just so many decisions every turn, so it was actually an enjoyable game. And every game was pretty enjoyable to play. Like a ton of decisions. And it was all about just trying to maximize your mana, trying to make sure that you just pull a little bit ahead, and then you make sure that you stay ahead until you can manage to close the door, which is like it's just a Delver strategy, right? Like this is basically the 2021 version of Delver in Modern. So really, really cool. Really, really cool. It was a lot of fun to play a deck. That's going to be it for this league, though. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Have a good one.